Hey everybody, how's it going? This week I'm just going to do a really short video because I have classes starting and I don't want to be spending a bunch of time on these videos. So today we're just going to do a tip, and that tip is going to be on flour. Whether it's wheat flour, almond flour, or whatever, what have you. And so the first thing you guys got to know is what flour is. For instance, wheat, you have a kernel and it has a germ and a shell, and that's removed in processing, and then you don't use the germ and you just use what's inside, and that is ground up and it's made into what we use as flour. Actually, rats will eat the germs because they're very nutritious, and all of those nutrients that they take out in milling, because it's easier to then grind it up and make flour out of it. So when they say enriched flour, that means they're just replacing only part of the nutrients that they originally took out. The other thing you should know is bleached. You can buy flour bleached or unbleached. I prefer unbleached. I think it's healthier. It's a little bit more expensive, but I think it's worth it since flour is already super cheap. And then flour, you have a couple types, even in the wheat. You have bread flour, you have pastry flour, and you have all-purpose flour, and those three types mostly depend on the amount of gluten you have in it. Bread flour has a lot of gluten, which means it's going to rise really nicely, whereas pastry flour has a little bit less, so it's going to be moldable, and it's going to make really nice smooth pastries. And then all-purpose flour, you can just pretty much use that for everything. And then the last point is almond flour. Almond flour is, well, almond flour is just one example of the many other flours you can make. You can make almond flour, you can make corn flour, you can make, I think, buckwheat flour, and those all undergo mostly the same process. Last week I did a marzipan recipe, and that included almond flour or almond meal. And one of the problems I ran into was I don't think it was sufficiently finely ground. So I had this flour that it wasn't as smooth. It didn't make the marzipan as smooth as I would have liked it. So that's it. Flour, use it in everything. It's the building blocks of food. Just realize that's a lot of different options you have. Alright, that's it for today.